Okay. We're live everywhere. What up, everybody? You Control You podcast. Man, I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful to God, my family. I'm grateful to my students, my fighters. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I was given this gift of just being able to lock in, focus, and move forward and staying in the moment. But yeah, so hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I know my weekend was intense. So it looks like I coached, according to me going through everything, coached 17 fights this weekend. And and what's crazy is that there were coaches coaching more. There were coaches. I don't know if one coach coached all 17 or coached all their fighters. I know some different teams have some different coaches that step in and whatnot, but definitely coaching that many people was a lot. I went 11-6. We brought home 2 belts, which, you know, winning a title is super dope. It's not everything. It's not why I signed up to do this. It's not why I got into this. I love to win very much. I'm very competitive. So, but what I'm excited about is the 2 titles that we won were both females. It's the first time I've ever won a title coaching coaching women. And so at least at this tournament, and it was a lot of fun. It was a dope experience. It was different, right? So yeah, what a crazy weekend. Crazy fights. My fighters are sending me the fights and I'm gonna go through it. I'm sure I'm gonna break down some different things on here. I know that's something that we really are really wanting to add to this show is breaking down some of the footage and just talking about it. And there's some dope moments in there. And it's just the whole thing is mind blowing because you train for this amount of time, like 4 months, and you prepare for this weekend, and you can check all the boxes. Well, is this ready? 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 And but then when you get in a fight, it's completely different a lot of times because you don't know how your dance partner is going to fight. You don't know how they're going to coach. You don't know, and then it's a constant adjustment making, right? So it's it's crazy to me. It's so it's so much fun because you got to be right there in the moment. You can't be anywhere else. All the adjustments you're making are in real time, and you only have 3 2-minute rounds to make those adjustments. And then as a coach, you're making the adjustment, but then did you did you connect well enough with your fighter in order to get them to do what you are instructing them to do? And sometimes I definitely did, and other times not necessarily. And that's just part of the process. Regardless, it's so much fun. Regardless, it's emotional. It's truly emotional. It's this understanding that these people trusted in you. I talk about leadership a lot in regards to coaching because I believe you can't coach unless you're unless you're willing to be the leader, unless you're willing to take on that, what's the word, role. And one moment that got really emotional for me anyway is having having a former Army Ranger literally thank me for helping him get to this point. And when you think about an Army Ranger, this man has went through basics in Army and then took it a step further to become a Ranger. And here he is. He addresses me as sir and thanks me for leading him. And it's funny because he told me at the barbecue, because we have like this team dinner on Saturday nights before the championship fights on Sunday. He said he a lot of people tell him they didn't join the military because of this, this, and this. And he takes it with a grain of salt. And I told him why. Like I have scars on my body that they just were not going to approve of because of fights that I got into when I was in high school. And yeah, he was like, whenever you talk, I listen and I take everything you say as is. And to me, that means more for some reason, mainly because this man was he has the ability to protect our country, right? It's it's crazy to me. Seeing everyone's reactions, seeing the disappointment on faces, consoling different fighters, helping them through the process of just being mad and hurt that they didn't win a fight or they didn't win their second fight or they didn't win their third fight is crazy. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Myself and another coach, we were talking, and I'm going to have him on the show. That's already in the works. We were talking about how this is such a calling from God because we're helping so many people out and we're just giving them the word that's given to us. And Muay Thai is and martial arts and all that stuff. It's just a conduit to being able to give it to them. I don't know. This weekend is always magical for me. This was this is always like a circular motion for me. It's like a circle of life. It's this is honestly, this is my new year. Today is my new year. It's weird because when I started Muay Thai, my first Muay Thai fights were at this tournament, right? 12 years ago. And my knee and my foot got wrecked training for this tournament 9 years ago. And so I learned how to coach without being able to show the technique 9 years ago, helping another fighter get ready for this fight for this tournament. It's all a circular thing for me. So for me, this is always the start of a new year. How can I get better? What can I improve on? All I was thinking about all weekend. If the fights were done and my night was done, it was how can we get better? How can I get my fighters to be calmer? How can I get them to do this stuff a little more often? How like just wanting to be better and help my fighters become better is always the goal. Yeah, it's 17 fights in one weekend. I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. To take home 2 belts, I never know if we're gonna get one. So another good year. Had a great time. I love talking with all the other coaches. Pack what up. So, and shout out all my fighters. Shout out, like they all gave me everything they had. We had one fighter who's this 18-year-old girl who showed so much heart. Like oh man, I got another fighter who's 20 who, like, the goal was, I told him, I'm like, hey, in this first fight, you got to walk the path of a fighter. Your last fight, you sort of started turning your head away and got beat up a little bit. In training camp, there were times where you shied away from the pain, but you want to be a fighter. You got to walk towards that pain. And he did. He won his first fight. Now he went against somebody that was just better than him in the second fight. But again, he fought. He was a dog. And that's my rule. Don't quit. We can take the L, just don't quit. Keep fighting. Beautiful, man. What a weekend. Epic weekend. Seen some great fights too. There were some fighters there with other teams that just looked, oh my God. It looked magical. Oh, and something I talk about too, what up? Something I talk about with my fighters actually came true. And it sucks. It made some of us super emotional on Sunday morning. So weigh-ins are Wednesday, fights start Thursday, and a young man from a team called Chicago Muay Thai. A great team, great coaches, always respectful. I love going to battle against them. I love watching their team. And we actually fought their team. We fought one of their female fighters this weekend and we won. We made some big adjustments, but my female fighter gutted it out and she won. But they always come with a big team. On Thursday, one of their fighters fought twice, and after the second one died. Hmm. And it really brought to life what I talk about. I tell my fighters, you know, one of the one of the best ways to conquer all the fears of going into fight is to just confront all the things that could happen, right? because they'll talk about, well, I'm afraid to get knocked out. I'm afraid to get beat up. I'm like, yeah, that all makes sense. But the worst thing that could happen is that you could die, because it does happen. Not very often, but it does happen. And I'm people tell me that I live in the extremes, that I don't really have a middle ground. And to me, it's not extreme. It's just stating the facts, right? It could happen. And I asked them, I'm like, okay, think about it. You can walk in that ring and you could die. Do you still want that ride? And it's easy to say, yeah, right? It's easy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Because the odds are really low. So what I have them do is what we call a death letter, right? And this is something I learned from some of my friends that served, right? Is they write a letter to their loved ones and they leave it behind. So if they don't make it back home, all of this gets said. And I make all my fighters read it out loud. And of course, tears get spent in that one, and it's super emotional. And then for it to happen, Sunday morning was really tough, right? And I'm thankful that, one of the coaches put together a card and it had as many coaches as he could find sign it. So we all sign it, and they bring everybody in the room where all the fights are happening, because it's a big convention center. They have 4 rings set up, hundreds of seats, and they make the announcement. They bring Chicago Muay Thai into the ring, the entire team, and we all have a moment of silence and we pray for this team. And then 2 of the coaches sing the national anthem again. We sing it at the beginning of Thursday before the fight start and the beginning of Sunday when the championship fights start. And super emotional because it could happen, right? Before every one of my fights, it was something that I had to confront, like, hey, you could die. Do you still want that ride? Forget about being knocked out. Forget about being embarrassed. You could die doing this. Do you still want that ride? And then for a young man to lose his life fighting, and one of my female fighters, one of them who actually won a title, she was super emotional, right? And I told her, I'm like, hey, I told her while we were warming up, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. And it sucks that it happened to this young man. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I'm like, if this happened to you, what do you think this young man would be doing right now? And she said he would be warming up to fight. I'm like, exactly. So that's how we're going to honor this young man. We're going to honor him by warming up and going to do what we set out to do. Because yes, it's tragic. And yes, we can say prayers for his family and for his team and send as much love and support as we can to them. He's a fighter, he was a warrior. So we're going to honor him by being a warrior and living within that spirit and go out and fight. Because that's all we could do. We go out there and we do our job. Just like he would if someone from my team passed away. He would go do his job. The coaches all did their job. I don't know exactly how it happened. and it doesn't really matter. It did happen after the fight. It just brought everything into real life because it's what I tell them, like, yo, this could happen. And you don't like, the weird thing is it's amateur fighting, right? And they have three different classes. They got what they call C class, that's novice, 0 to 3 fights, right? Then they have B class, that's 4 to, like, I think, I want to say 9 or 10 fights. And then after that, they have A class. Now, A class, you'll have some pro fighters in, right? And on Sunday, that's where they don't have headgear, but you still got shins, you got elbow pads, and you're still wearing gloves, right? In C class, you have headgear no matter what. And so they're doing all the things to take the precaution. And I tell people all the time, headgear keeps you from getting cut. It saves you if you hit the ground a little bit, like a motorcycle helmet. But it doesn't, your brain, you still get concussions, right? And so it sucks, man. And like, it is what it is. The brutality of fighting, especially Muay Thai, right? Muay Thai, be, all the rules are there except at this tournament, or in amateurs, you're not allowed to knee the head, right? But it brought things like in in the focus, and it let me know that talking about that in camp, having them write these letters and read these letters in camp is the right thing to do. I would never, again, I would never want it to happen in real life, but I prepare for it all as much as possible. I want to be so prepared that no matter what happens, we've talked about it, we've gone through it. And so, tragic, tragic, and yet watching every single team, watching every single fighter, watching everybody come together for a moment of silence. This isn't just some small tournament. This is a tournament with like 1,000 fighters. It was it was powerful to be a part of that, to see that, to see the entire community come together to support this team. Yeah, bananas, man. Straight bananas. And now we start fine tuning shit, right? Start start working on things. I like a couple of my fighters, actually 4 of them are going out to Thailand for 2 weeks to a month, train out there, and 2 of them want to compete for sure. So we'll see. And then we got some MMA fights coming up in October. Some probably kickboxing ones, Muay Thai ones in September, October, December. So we'll be finishing the year with some more fights. And then we'll start having these meetings to gear up for the next TBAs. So it's a beautiful tournament, man. I wish it wasn't in Des Moines, Iowa, but it's only a 5-hour drive. Make it happen. So it is what it is. Um, Good afternoon. What up, Mo? Hurricane said, yeah, just a fighter after two fights on Thursday passed away. None of us know. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. One would surmise it's from the fights. I'm not sure. Do I juice? Like, are you talking about steroids? No. If you're talking about do juicing like fruit juice, like make my own juice, sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I I was out of nowhere, but for real, that's one of the best wrestlers. Says, yeah, like if I told somebody that the number one Muay Thai tournament in North America that has over 1,000 fighters show up, if I ask them where they think it would happen, they wouldn't say Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah, definitely Vegas or something, Miami. Yeah, um, but yeah. So I mean, I guess you could turn off then cereal. But yeah, but I mean it's fun. Like yeah, somewhere there more south. Yeah. But everybody from everywhere. Like there's teams that come from Hawaii, Mexico, Canada. Man, Silver, why you just crap on it like that? I didn't even say that. Did someone say my beard is not even filled in? Like, do you not know what a lining is? Like, I swear people don't know what a lining is, man. I'm not gonna. Yeah, you can take shots at whatever you want, but you're not gonna take shots at my beard because my barber does a great job. Um, but man, but no, yeah, Des Moines, Iowa, it's crazy, man. But it's they come from everywhere, man. They come out all over the country, all over North America, and they come compete. People fly in, um, they do their thing. Man, favorite cereal. I really like you, yo. I'm happy you coming at my neck right now, I think. So but yeah, 1,000 something fighters, it's crazy. And like I said, shout out Chicago Muay Thai. Include them in your prayers, send them nothing but positive energy. Like, sucks that a young man lost his life. God works in mysterious ways for sure. So, where's Art? What'd he say? Who's what is he saying? Yeah, RJ is my barber. So this must be someone that knows me. This has got to be someone who knows me or knows someone. So they're really just trolling for no reason. Thank you for speaking up for young men. Oh, you're welcome. God bless you as well. I love, man, I believe everybody should fight. Honestly. I honestly believe that. I believe that everyone should at least train to fight. Train to do at least one fight. Whether you fight or not, we'll have that debate, but train for a fight. Because I truly believe that if everybody trained for a fight, they would look at the world a little bit differently. Men and women. Because I have a lot of female fighters. And so we two of them just brought home some championship belts. So, but definitely like that's a conversation I'm not ready to have today. Definitely not having a religious conversation. But if y'all want to go on a side quest, we can go on a side quest because I was having debates about Andrew Tate talking with Bonnie Blue. And I am curious If he have a father, wouldn't we also have a mother? Okay. He- If I just had to put Corey, I had to put Corey on game over here about who Bonnie Blue is, right? She's the woman that slept with like over 1,000 men in 24 hours. And listening to her and Andrew Tate, like, and I've had conversations with women about how like feminism, they're happy that they get to vote, they get to do all this stuff, they get choice. And it's funny because at the same time, they'll talk about how disgusting Bonnie Blue is because she has slept with over 1,000 men in 24 hours. And her goal is to sleep with her her goal is to sleep with over 10,000 men. And it's like you can't really judge her, right? Are you let me I get to that, right? I get to that. Why can't Corey wants to know why can't he judge her? Well, one, it's not our place to judge people. So not our place. Also, do you co-sign how our society is right now with women having choice and men shouldn't have say so over them and they get to do whatever they want to do because it's their body, their choice, their mind. They get free will to do whatever they want. They know they don't have to follow what men say. Do you agree with that too, Corey? Boom. Yep. There you go. So those two facts are everything of why it's okay that she's doing it. Yeah, she's making money from it. And the funny thing is, like, of course, when you hear her and Andrew Tate talking, and Andrew's on her side, he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the result of feminism. This is a direct result because if you can't say that you want things to be this way and then get mad that things are this way. You wanted you wanted free spirit. You wanted to be able to do what you wanted with your body. You wanted all this stuff, right? You wanted men to have no say so over you. Dad shouldn't be this harsh. It shouldn't go from the woman shouldn't go from the dad to the significant other. Women are allowed to be independent and be single and do what they want. Well, hey, you have a woman who's literally living that life. And it's funny because how many women do we know? Well, I didn't like I don't know any guys that married a virgin. Don't even worry about it. Big up. Like you just sometimes you just gotta move past what someone's saying. I'll see you in the Maury show. Hey, now I ain't gonna be on the Maury show. Come on now. But but oh wait, if a woman is gonna baby trap me, she's gonna listen to me and what I tell her. I mean, you say that, but it's not gonna work that way. Chico, what up? So T Mac, my Dixie wrecked. But like seriously, if we're gonna live in a society where, man, I'm way off topic now. If I went completely off base, but if we're gonna live in a society, right, where it's okay for people to people to move a certain way, how we gonna be mad at it and get and say we're disgusted by it? Now, people, I still don't believe people should judge, right? But if society was set up back in the day, you always had the brothels, you always had the concubines, you always had the women that lived that way, right? But it was behind the scenes, right? Weird society has just decided that we're okay with it being up front. If if we're okay with it being up front, then this is exactly where where it's gonna go. This woman has made millions of dollars now sleeping with men.
And got publicity for it.
And tons of publicity.
So that's all that you want, and yeah, I
She's
guess I'm happy for you now.
yeah, she said she's talked about it. She's like, she called herself a hoe. She's okay with that. But there's always women that's been okay with it. She even said she was like, she's like, I'm a porn star. I don't understand women getting into porn and then years later talking about, oh, this industry used me and they treated me this way and and they play the victim. She was like, you chose this. You chose this life. The more we judge, the better the world will be. See, I don't think so. Because if you're a religious person, it says not to judge. We're not supposed to, we're not the judge. I think that's actually the more people judge, the more it pushes people to go push the boundaries. Like we all got a pass, right? If I was seeing a girl and her dad was really strict, oh, I knew she was going because they weren't willing to have, they would be so strict. Oh, wait, T Mac, wait,
No,
I
you
can't.
may not repeat anything that T Mac be
T Mac is on something else.
saying.
But like if the dad was strict, and when I say strict, strict but not communicating properly, right? And those were the ones that were typically wanting to experiment. Judge not that you be not judged. Yeah, exactly. I am I am I am a firm believer that it's not our place to judge, right? Because here, I'll find a way to tie them both in. For the first half of the show, I was talking about fighters, right? People think we're dumb for fighting. Oh, you're ruining your brain, you're getting concussions, you're doing this. And a fighter lost his life and it was tragic. That's not your place to judge, right? Not your place to judge. I'm not judging them. It's not my job to judge what a woman does. What is it? Wait, what did death team say? That's why we are where we are because of acceptance. No, 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 no. We are where we are, maybe a little bit of acceptance. But what I would say is we wanted we wanted to live in a different societal world where women got more say so. It is what it is. We should be able to do what we live for and judge no one. Yeah, exactly. So
Ding,
bec-
ding, 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 ding.
because women want, but like, look, you have a choice. That's the crazy thing. You have a choice. We shouldn't judge someone based on their choice. Where we messed up, in my eyes, is that we made societal rules. We decided, we decided that society and religion should be separate, and that's okay. I shouldn't be able to hear any women talk down about Bonnie Blue unless you're a woman that doesn't want to vote. You're a woman that wants to live on, basically be a woman that lives on traditional values. right? Does that not compute? I hope that makes sense to everybody. What you think about that, Corey?
I'm about to type it in right now.
Oh man, you're about to go into something else. Cause the coach that I was talking about, Coach Brian, if you guys are in Kansas City or you ever am I doing an interview? I do interviews, but I knew I wasn't gonna be in the right mind frame to interview anybody today after this weekend. Um, DM me if you're trying to be interviewed. I consider I consider people. So he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. Yeah, there you go. So so I was talking with Coach Brian, who owns and coaches at the gym called Low Kick Muay Thai in Kansas City. Beautiful coach, beautiful man. And he came over and we're talking before the event even starts Thursday morning. We have like a 45-minute conversation about God and the Bible. And his dad was a preacher and he talked about like for like 40 close to 40 years or something like that. He's been thinking this one way. And for the last 5 years or so, his mind's been blown speaking with the pastor at his church that he goes to now. And he was breaking down like scriptures and Adam and like living in sin, and we're all born sinful. Like really think about that. We're all born sinful. We we have to make a choice, right, to be saved. And the way he broke it's funny because he the way he broke down baptism, he said his preacher was like, look, you guys can look out the door right across the street. The water company's right over there. So the water I'm about to baptize you in is that water. He's like, this isn't like he really broke it down. And the way he broke everything down was so dope. And like you make the choice to stand with God. You make the choice to talk to God. You make the choice to believe in God. And then when you pray, he hears your prayers. When you ask for forgiveness, you could be forgiven. He was like, but it's and then we got talking about coaching, right? He was talking about coaching like how we don't coach for belts. We're coaching these people to be better and how we because me and him both tie in God into our teaching. I don't tell everybody you got to believe in God. I just know I believe in God. And so I'll say whatever you believe in, but I believe in God. And I talk about this stuff. And we're helping so many individuals like do better in life. And so or help them reach their goals in life. And it's our calling from God. And when our time comes, it's not about the money that we have and all this. It's about it's about the the acts that we've done in service of others essentially. How have we bettered other people? How have we done something to help other people? And I talk about all that because it's not it's not our place to judge and like that team. See, I don't believe in religion. I believe in morality and being the best person you can be. How I challenge you then. What are your morals based on if they're not based on belief in something, right? Facts. Have you made life easier for your family or the community the measure of a man? Exactly, Carl. So when I have a conversation with people about someone like Bonnie Blue, right? Not my place to judge her. She's doing what society has now allowed her to do. Society's made it okay for women to move that way. And I love the interviewer that's got him, Andrew Tate and Bonnie Blue right there. He asked Andrew, he was like, well, what if this was your daughter? And he was like, that's impossible. Never be my daughter. Never happened. He was like, yeah, but it could. He's like, no, it can't. And I understand what Andrew's saying because I have a daughter, right? My daughter's 21. She would never in her life do that. I'm not judging Bonnie Blue for her actions. She's open, she's honest about it. She's doing what I believe a lot of women do anyway. I believe a lot of women sleep with men and do it on the. I mean, I've walked into places and they're hooking up with a guy right there in a club, behind the club, in a bar, in the bathroom, in the back of a car. They just met the guy. They got a guy to pay for. They had a guy pay for um a couple drinks. Bonnie does it and she's getting paid millions of dollars, right? Between social media, marketing, people paying for her OnlyFans, like she's making bank, right? So it is what it is. My daughter wouldn't live that because I've instilled the values that I believe in into her. Right or wrong, these are my values. And these values are based on my moral and my moral compass, right? But I'm not going to judge someone for doing it. Like, and it's funny to me the amount of like, why would women judge her? How is that any? Okay, Corey, maybe you could give me this.
Okay.
Wait, have to say a lot of that behavior comes from past trauma, just not on a whim. But see, you might be right, right? Miss Ms. TT, you might be right. Bonnie Blue, I don't know much about her. I don't know much about her past, so I don't know if her trauma, I don't know her trauma. I don't know what it's based in. But isn't that the point though? We've made it okay for women to just run the show. Single moms, single households. You don't need a man. So where's the protection coming from? Not saying something messed up couldn't happen, even if there were parents there and a father there. I do know the percentages reduce. Just saying. What up? Good morning. Ooh. I believe I'm gonna be having a conversation with a woman about that on her show coming up on Thursday. Ooh, that should be interesting. I do believe, yeah, it's I believe there needs to be a balance, right? Yeah, uh, facts. Miss TT said I work with childhood essay, so it, on social media you can't always say the word, but essay Vix, and they grow up to be very impulsive and lots of low self esteem. Exactly. I mean, I understand that. I've talked about it on here how I suffered from that, and honestly, I use that would make me feel like I'm the man going around and sleeping with women. Don't get it twisted. I understand it. What I will say is that depending on your beliefs, right? If you just go, it's in our it's in our makeup to go around getting women pregnant because the lowest number of women I can get pregnant in a year is 365. I can get 365 women pregnant in a year. And that's the lowest number, right? That's the lowest number if I'm doing it every day with a new woman. So so you say, yeah, we've evolved past this, yeah. But now I'm saying, right, that is do you are you okay with how we've evolved, right? Because then there should be no judgment on a woman like Bonnie Blue. Young Flo said you should have as many kids as you have.
Problem now.
So all I'm saying is we can't be harsh on Bonnie Blue if we're okay with where society is. That's a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to do all that. I've grown up a lot since then. If you make more and more, you keep the same mentality, still be poor. Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, Miss Titi. Miss Titi says no justification yet. I call it a roadmap. Roadmap. Every behavior has an origin. I feel you. She said in 5 years she's not going to be screaming victim on this stuff, and that's some of the problem too. Like you can't choose this life and then later say I was a victim to this life. No, you made the choices. Accept that you made those choices and be okay with that. Just be okay that you made those choices because you made millions of dollars from those choices. So it's crazy to me. But women judge her. I don't know. I have yet to meet a woman that said, I have yet to meet a woman that was like, go Bonnie Blue. Choice or you think so? I mean, at some point though, it's a choice, right? Because do I get at some point I had to make a choice that was different from the conditioning. More money, more problems. I mean, yeah. So Miss TT said, you think so, choice or conditioning. So I suffered from being assaulted, being raped in my own household. At some point, though, you have to take ownership of yourself. At some point, you got to look at at these are my actions. You can't be you can't be in your late 20s. You can't be in your 30s. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, it was a crazy interview. Crazy interview. But super dope because left up to our devices is a very true quote. Yeah. Like at some point you have to, we don't care about your opinion. Uh Dope. I don't know if I did I share an opinion? I guess my opinion was stop judging her. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. She is doing out in the open what a lot of people do. So I'm saying if you're a woman and you judge her, are you really all about women being free with their bodies? Are you really okay with woman's choice? It's a weird situation, right? I'm okay, right? I understand that as my right to own a gun and being okay living in a country that they own guns, shootings are going to happen. You don't want shootings to happen as often. You got to remove the guns, right? Exactly, Miss TT. Not our place to judge. Like, if I wasn't okay with running my own business and making money and creating wealth, I couldn't live in the, like I would have to go somewhere else, right? I said that wrong. But my point is I have to be okay with the good side and the bad side of decisions. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, so Miss Titi, she's not gonna judge someone like Bonnie. Who cares that she slept with 1,057 men in 24 hours? Hey, she set a new record. Corey's stuck on a number. You can't believe it. Hey, freedom of choice, right? Exactly. Judge the system. Yeah. Like I told my daughter right off the jump, men are gonna look at you like this. They're gonna try to do this. They're trying to get with you all the time. Understand it.
Wait a minute. Um,
What's up?
God would not judge her. God would not judge.
Andrew said, I'm not sure. Well, Young Flo said,
Oh, how God
yeah.
would judge
Andrew said, I'm not sure how God would judge her, but perhaps judge the system that made her that way. Exactly.
But hasn't God put out a simple guideline
Yes.
of what God is looking for? And if you fall outside that guideline, wouldn't God take a position on
Yeah.
you?
But that's what I think that's what he's saying, though. He's saying the system went outside those guidelines,
What system?
the entire societal system, the entire structure, right? The entire structure and system decided to not live by God's words. That's okay
Yeah,
because
we know a lot of people living outside those.
you wouldn't have a feminist movement by the structure of the Bible.
No, you would not.
So
But
now
you're still making a conscious choice to not follow the rules of the Bible, to follow the
in
rules of the system.
exactly.
And so you could possibly be punished.
Oh yeah, yeah. But Andrew's saying and basically what he's saying is he doesn't know how God would judge her.
I think God's put out the doctrine of what God's looking for.
Yeah, but it's not. He's basically saying he doesn't. She's living by her truth and she's open. And here's the thing: if God can forgive someone of murder, right?
You gotta ask for repentance.
Yeah, of course. So maybe one day she'll ask for forgiveness from God, but she's not going to ask for forgiveness from another soul, which is facts, which is what makes her different because she's even talking about women who like the Shannon Sharp situation, right? Where this woman's getting paid to sleep. Shannon's paying this woman, taking care of her, doing things, and now she's screaming a different message,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like now you're playing the victim, but you weren't the victim here. Now you're playing a victim. And so it is what it is. Now, who's Shalia? Not okay for me. So I'm
Gotta look up that Matthew. I don't know what that
is
Matthew said.
is Shalia, are you saying that you're you're not you're not on board with you don't co-sign with Bonnie Blue sleeping with 1,057 men? You don't co-sign that? Man, this is not happy with us, yo.
And it's only on TikTok because you're fine on the other platform.
They're trying to shut us down. So, like if you're judging it, only God can judge us. And even though we know morality, what she's doing is not doing is not right. I mean, it's not right for us, right? It's not right for us. It's not how my daughter would be. Like I said, my daughter's 21. The man she's with, she fully intends on marrying. The only man she's been with. Like I run a pretty traditional household. I raised her understanding how men think, how men operate, move this way. Matthew 6:34.
Yeah. So it says,
Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself.
yep.
Yeah,
So,
each day has enough trouble. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, hit enter on that one. So yeah, Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Yeah. Tell us how to men wait, what? Tell us how to tell us how men think and move. I'm trying to take some notes. Oh, I just basically told my daughter this. I was like, hey, as you get older, understand that men are gonna want to sleep with you, right? And they're going, everything they do and every move they make is for that. Even if they don't know it, especially in middle school and high school and college. Like, come on, you don't need a man. You, you need me. I'm dad. I'm here. I'm the man you need right now. One day, you won't need me. You're gonna want another man. He's gonna. You're gonna go from me taking care of you to him taking care of you, right? And that's how that's gonna go. And then telling her that she's smart, telling her that she's intelligent, telling her that she can do the things that she wants to do, and then reaffirming to her when she did get a boyfriend, let him open the car door, let him carry your stuff, and like just talking to her. In some ways, it depends on the age of the man. I will say that. So my daughter got school like really early. There we go. They finally gave us a puzzle piece. Like, so I was just letting my daughter know kind of what it is. And so my daughter's had the same boyfriend since she was like 14. They live together. I've reiterated the point to him that I believe they should be getting married because he wants to wait until he's got all this money. And I'm like, no, build it together. You're living together already. Like, you should be getting married. And that's the not like do that. And so I can't make them do it. My daughter wants to get married, and he's talked about it. He's like he's looked at rings and stuff. So, and he's young. He's 22, but not but they're young according to society. What society says now. To me, they've lived their life a certain way because of how at least my daughter was raised. He believes in God as well. So it's like I've told him, I'm like, you're living in sin. Get married. You're already taking on the responsibility of taking care of my daughter, right? Marry her. So do I will you tell her to leave him if he doesn't comply?
mm,
Hmm.
mm,
No, because that's not my place as a dad. If I tell her to leave him, right, she's not gonna talk to me. And right now, and pretty much the whole time, my daughter's been pretty open with me. And the thing is, this young man's a great young man, and he's one of my fighters. He's a really good young man. And so respectful, doing his job. He works a job he doesn't like as he's building his MMA career. So Like, I love this kid. He's like he's a son. So, but I want him to marry my daughter for sure because of those things. Like because I look at him a certain way because I trust him to be the man in my daughter's life. What would you do if my daughter, man? My daughter would get a foot in her ass. What would you do if your daughter called you to cover for her because she's out with someone else and she told him that she was with you? Would you cover or tell him? I wouldn't do either. I would give her a swift kick in the ass and say, get the hell home and end that relationship. The beauty of it is, though, my daughter wouldn't do that. My daughter she values herself in such a way she wouldn't just be with someone just to be with someone. Like some dude couldn't talk the panties off my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no amount of game, there's no amount of money, there's no amount of fame they can offer her to talk the panties off of her. Her dad lived a cool life. She like her uncle is is a pretty dope music producer. You know what I'm saying? Like she's there's nothing that a guy can do that's gonna like do that. What if your son instead of a daughter? No, I would tell him just be straight up with the girl, yo. Just tell Shorty, like, hey, I'm about to dip out with another girl. If you here when I get back, you're here. If you're not, you're not. Ah, look at my baby girl. My daughter just chimed in on lunch break and just saw this. You are right, Dad. Love you. Yeah, like my daughter's not, my daughter was raised very traditional. Very, very traditional.
With all these hypotheticals.
Is he trying to blow up and find another girl? Nah, he's just young. Young and like I get it. Men, we wanna be able to have we want to be able to provide for people. The thing is like when we think provision, especially in this society, we think financial. He's already providing emotional stability. He's providing some financial stability. He's providing comfort and mental stability. He's he wants to be able to because my daughter doesn't want to work. She just wants to stay at home and take care of the kids. He can't give that to her yet. So I feel like young couples rush into marriage though. Yeah, young if they haven't been together for a while. They live together, they've been together, like they've gone on trips together. Like, yeah, they're living a married life now. Like the only other the only thing that they have to add is a kid. Like, and I don't care how old you are. You're gonna learn on the job on that one. So it is what it is. But man, it was nice to have another real conversation. And I know we sort of went all over the place a little bit. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Appreciate it. Again, say a prayer for Chicago Muay Thai for their fighter that they lost this weekend. Remember, life is precious. And oh, there's lots of dads like me out there. My whole clique is dads like like we only know how to run one way. We're not perfect, but we know how to be a dad. No, I do not. Jojo, I don't know Andre. But say a prayer. Say a prayer for Chicago Muay Thai. Remember, life is short. Live it to the fullest. Remember, you control you. Keep from judging others. Focus on yourself, improving yourself and your family. We keep it pushing. Thank you for supporting. Make sure you like, you follow, comment, all that good stuff. Till next time. Deuces, we out. Peace.